Now, I couldn't find this video, so I'm actually really glad Wall Street Silver was kind enough to post the snippet. I guess they don't make it very easy to find it on their website, and I am not a super sleuth. So anyways, this is the FDIC. They're having a meeting pretty much about, their job as an insurer to you and I, us plebs, in the banking industry in case something were to happen and our money was gone. And, they're the ones that would step up and say, oh, don't worry about it. So-and-so, they took a few hundred. Here's a few hundred. And what I saw in here should scare you.
I wondered whether there are some market tests of whether you're being heard. And I think about TLAC. So TLAC should respond to good and bad news about the institutions, and it's really important.
All right, so you see the room dynamics here. They are going to zoom in on the gentleman that is speaking. Now, this gentleman right here, while he was speaking on TLAC, I don't know what TLAC is, but gives him a point of body movements in the positive, reinforces the positive, pointing at that guy. Yeah, everyone else is listening. It's actually an active listening. This is not a meeting of people that are made to go and they don't have anything to gain from it. Because most of the time you go to a meeting, there's nothing that anyone is saying that you don't already know. The boss is not going to tell you anything new that may help you in the future. So to see people actively leaning forward and giving good eye contact and listening says that this kind of meeting is actually important because they find it important and you and I should find it important.
I mean, it's a little bit conflicted, right? I mean, it's important that people understand they can be bailed in, but you don't want a huge run on the institution, but they're going to be. And it could.
People need to understand you could be bailed in, but you don't want a huge run on the institutions. The other guy, he's reading something and he's listening at the same time. He's not as active participant in this particular section, but he is listening because he hears it. He puts that paper down, like stretches out his shoulders a little bit, goes back in the chair like, okay. And the guy who's speaking, he's pretty tight as he is speaking.
Be an early warning signal.
So he's not letting his arms go out and encompass the other two. He's staying within his territory. And that could just be all the tightness is him staying within his territory of his section of his chair. He doesn't want to encroach on either male on each side of him. And that is just a social dynamic. It has nothing to do with what's coming out of his mouth.
To the FDIC and the primary regulators when these things happen. And there may be some other prices, this is similar to what Jay was saying, in the market that you can tell whether people understand who's going to be protected, who isn't going to be protected. It would be, I think, an interesting study to look at the evolution of market.
When he was doing his fingers at the very last clip here, his fingers are saying something. His mouth pauses, but the fingers still go, which is indicative of someone who's trying to tell you the truth. But at the same time, because you hear the shakiness in his voice and he's pausing before his mouth speaks, but his body is speaking, says he's trying to filter it to some degree. The body and the mind are not disagreeing, but it would be like me choosing the word fire instead of inferno. Inferno says, oh my God, we're gonna die. Fire says, we can handle it. It's okay. But basically, they both mean the same thing. Destruction.
Market prices in a situation like March of 2020, for example, and see whether people understood what might happen. Right?
Now, unfortunately, that would be really good to sit there and see more of that whole entire meeting. And if somebody has the link, I may dig into it. I can't promise a video for it, but I may dig into it. Maybe some other gems in there. But you got to understand, plebs, bail-ins are coming. Episode 2 of Skinwalker Ranch has been released, and as we follow along with the reality of it, is it real or is it not? This time, supposedly, they saw something.
Oh, there it is again. There it is again. There it is again.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.